everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiki. So today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys some really easy meals. It's a full day of meals that are geared towards weight loss on a plant-based diet. This is how I was able to lose 70 pounds and also how I'm able to keep it off. So I hear a lot from you guys that are just starting your plant-based weight loss journey, and you understand the concept behind eating whole foods, eating low fat, but you just don't like oatmeal for breakfast or having potatoes, and you're really missing pancakes and waffles and French toast and things like that. But I want to show you guys that you can still enjoy those foods and lose weight. So today I'm going to show you guys how to make some weight loss friendly blueberry pancakes. I actually eat these every day, and I didn't eat them during weight loss only because I never really bothered to try making pancakes, and I did really try to stay away from using flours. But I'm going to show you guys how and why you can still have pancakes every day if you want and still make progress on your weight loss journey. I'm also going to show you guys how to make this super easy and delicious vegetable and rice stir fry. You can make a ton of it one day and then have it for the next few days for lunch. It reheats really easily. And then I'm also going to show you how to make these yummy rosemary garlic steak fries along with these balsamic glazed Brussels sprouts. And you can dip all of it in ranch. And guys, if you have not tried my ranch recipe, it is so good. It is like the closest I've ever come to like real ranch. I really missed having ranch on my salads and to dip things in like fries and onion rings when I went plant-based. So I have been tinkering with it for a couple of years and I finally nailed it. So I will link all of these recipes for you guys below. They are all available for free on my website. You can find all sorts of free recipes there. All right, so real quick, I'm gonna review for you guys the couple guidelines that I followed on a plant-based diet to be able to lose 70 pounds and to be able to keep it off. I eat a high carb, low fat, plant-based diet. So I eat loads of healthy carbohydrates in the forms of potatoes, rice, whole grains, fruits, legumes, and I eat loads of vegetables and I keep the fat low. I don't use any oil in my cooking except for the occasional spray of oil when needed to keep things from sticking or when I really need something to brown up nicely. And I do eat nuts and seeds and avocados. I just eat them in very moderate amounts. And I try to focus on only eating whole foods, which means foods the way they are grown in nature. Instead of eating, potato chips, I try to eat the potatoes. You don't want to eat a ton of refined processed foods. One, it's not good for you, and two, it will really hinder your weight loss. So I stay away from a lot of like the vegan cookies and the fake meats and cheeses, crackers, all that stuff. Of course, I still do have some of those things in moderate amounts here and there. They're just not a regular part of my diet. Follow the 50-50 plate method that was first outlined by Dr. John McDougall, and that is where you fill half your plate with non-starchy vegetables and then the other half with starch. And you always eat your non-starchy vegetables first before you move to your starchy vegetables. And all this is doing is reducing the overall calories of your meal without cutting back on the volume of food you get to eat. So I didn't count a single calorie while losing 70 pounds. I just followed the 50-50 plate method, and that naturally gets you eating between 400 and 700 calories a meal. Naturally, you're getting full, you're not counting calories, and that's what enables you to be able to lose weight, is that you are naturally just staying around 400 to 700 calories per meal. So at mealtime, I will load up half of my plate with non-starchy vegetables like steamed broccoli with some cheese sauce on it, and then on the other side I will put a bunch of baked fries and have those with ketchup. And I always eat my non-starchy veggies first because you want to fill up on the lowest calorie dense foods first and then move to your higher calorie dense foods. Now, if I was hungry after that, I would go back for seconds, I'd go back for thirds or fourths if I wanted to, but I would serve myself the same way and always start with the non-starchy veggies first. And what I would find is that I would generally have a second helping of vegetables and then be too full to continue on to my starch, like my potatoes. And this worked like magic, you guys. There was no calorie counting. I didn't feel restricted. I got to eat as much as I wanted to eat, and I still do that. I eat till I'm really full, and That's it. And when I'm hungry, I eat again. And if you just need a snack in between meals, then stick to whole fruit or some whole vegetables and some oil-free hummus. The whole point is to keep it simple, don't go hungry, and your body will seriously do the rest. Okay, so for these blueberry pancakes, now I went ahead and put the recipe into Chronometer so that you guys could see how much protein, how much calories, how much fat and carbohydrates are in these pancakes. I wanted you guys to be able to see that you could have a huge plate of vegetables or fruit with 5 pancakes and maple syrup for under 500 calories. Now, again, I don't count calories. I didn't count a single calorie when I lost weight, but if you do want to eat things that are not whole food, that are a little bit more refined, like use things like whole wheat flour or gluten-free flour for like pancakes in the morning or pizza in the evening, then you can use these free tools like Chronometer or MyFitnessPal that allow you to enter in these recipes so you can see how many calories are in the entire recipe so that you know, well, you can eat up to 500 and 700 calories if you want and still lose weight. So I did go ahead and put it in so that you guys can see you can have all of this food for under 500 calories. And the reason I only put 5 pancakes in was so that you guys could see that around that 500 calorie mark, because I know a lot of people, even though I tell you that I didn't count calories, you still like to count calories. You can see that, yeah, this is right around 500 calories, which seems to be the sweet spot for losing weight. I personally, since I'm not trying to lose weight, require more calories a day, so I eat about 700 calories per meal plus some snacks here and there. So I just want to show you guys what the recipe looks like in Chronometer so that you can feel comfortable eating some pancakes for breakfast. All right, so I've just put a little water in my pot, and then I'm gonna put my steaming basket in. And then this morning, I'm just gonna make some steamed asparagus. I buy this bag at Costco. Of course, fresh asparagus is way better, but you know, this is easy. So they come in these individual packages, and I'm gonna steam up 1 whole bag for myself. Alright guys, for these pancakes, it's really simple. I'm just gonna take a 1.25 cups of whole wheat flour, and I of course will link this recipe for you guys in the description box below. Then I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of unrefined cane sugar. You can use coconut sugar, you can sweeten it with maple syrup, you can leave it out altogether if you want, but today I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of this unrefined sugar. And then I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of baking powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Whisk that together. And then to this, I'm gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla. You can leave this out if you want, but I really love vanilla. And then I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of applesauce. Okay, and then to this, I'm just gonna add 1.25 cups of water, and then our batter is ready to go. And if you are gluten-free, you can totally swap out the flour with any gluten-free flour or oat flour. All right, so now I have my non-stick griddle nice and heated up. Now I am gonna lightly spray mine with a little oil just because it is older and it's starting to stick. A little spray of oil is not the end of the world. It's not gonna really upset any weight loss progress. You just don't wanna be cooking your vegetables in oil and dousing your salads in oil. You do really wanna stay away from oil, especially for weight loss, but for these pancakes, I do need to lightly spray this pan. If you have a pan that is really nice and doesn't stick, then you don't have to spray it. All right, so I'm gonna take my 1/4 cup that I used for the flour, and that's what I'm gonna use to measure out each one of my pancakes. And this batch will make about 11 to 11.5 pancakes. All right, so I'm gonna put blueberries on here, and I just buy these frozen blueberries. You can use fresh. I like those frozen ones because they're really small, and I just pop them in the microwave so that they don't keep the pancakes from cooking. Now you could totally mix the blueberries into your batter. It just turns them purple, and I just like to do it this way, but you can do whatever you want. Alright guys, so I only put 1 tablespoon of maple syrup on all the pancakes. I'll put a little salt on my asparagus, but you can season that however you want. Now, you guys know I love my vegetables for breakfast, and eating your veggies first helps you fill up on the lowest calorie dense foods first before you move to your starch. Now, I hear from a lot of people that just cannot stomach the thought of vegetables at breakfast, so it's totally okay to swap that out for some fresh fruit. A nice big bowl of berries or melon would be great, and that would be perfect to put on your non-starchy side. All right, guys, as you can see, this whole breakfast, which you saw how much it is, only has 467 calories. So for me personally, even during weight loss, I would have needed to have a little bit more, but I just wanted you guys to be able to see that yes, you can still have pancakes. You can have 5 pancakes with some maple syrup and some blueberries and asparagus and still be perfectly within range to continue on your weight loss journey. And again, I did not count calories during weight loss. I don't count calories now. I just employed the 50-50 plate method, ate low fat, didn't use any oil, and ate mostly whole foods. But using something like Chronometer or MyFitnessPal is a really useful tool for when you do want to eat pancakes or make pizza and you just really still want to make sure you're staying within that 500 to 700 calorie range for your meals so you don't slow down your weight loss. It is a useful tool. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you how to make this quick stir fry. So I already have about 8 ounces of sliced mushrooms that I have rinsed in here. And then I've got some leftover chopped red onions, so I'm going to add that. And then I've got 2 zucchinis that I'm going to slice and add to that as well. All right, so I'm gonna saute these up in a pan and I'm gonna show you how to pull it all together. All right, so I have my pan heated up over medium-high heat. So I am just gonna add all of my veggies into the pan, and then I'm gonna add some low-sodium soy sauce. You can also use coconut aminos if you prefer. And then I'm gonna add in some garlic and some ginger. All right, so once the vegetables start to brown like this, then you can add in your rice. So I'm gonna add in 1 to 2 cups. This is probably about 1 heaping cup, and you can just see how much you're gonna eat, but this makes a lot of food. To garnish this with some chopped green onions and then a little chopped cilantro. And then I am absolutely obsessed with this chili paste called sambal oleg, and I just find it in the Asian aisle of any grocery store. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is get the roasted Brussels sprouts ready to be roasted. So I'm just gonna cut the ends off and then cut them in half. And then I'm gonna put them in my bowl here. All right, so now all I'm gonna do is take a good balsamic vinegar. This one is my favorite. I love this company. It's the Rocky Mountain Olive Oil Company. No, it does not have olive oil in it. This is just vinegar. So I will link this one below along with a discount code if you're interested. So I'm just gonna drizzle some of this over the Brussels sprouts. And if you don't have balsamic vinegar or you don't like it, you could also use soy sauce or coconut aminos. So I just want to get them nice and coated, and then I'm going to put, of course, a little garlic salt on. All right, so here I have my air frying basket. You can do this in the air fryer or you can do this in the oven. I just think the air fryer works the best. So I've placed parchment paper on half because this half is gonna have the potatoes, and I don't want the vinegar to drip all over the grate and then burn in the bottom of the air fryer. So I do put parchment paper down. You just wanna spread them out so they get nice and evenly cooked in there. All right, and I'm gonna set this aside and get the potatoes ready. All right, so now I'm gonna make these garlic rosemary roasted potatoes. They're really, really good. So I have these potatoes that I have already steamed. I always steam up a bunch of potatoes at the beginning of the week, and I'm just gonna cut them into like thick wedges. Now I'm gonna put them into this container that has a lid, and I'm gonna separate them. And the reason I put them in here is because I'm gonna season them and then shake them up to rough them up, and this helps them get really nice and crispy. Okay, so to the potatoes, I'm gonna add garlic salt, of course. And then I'm gonna add some crushed rosemary. And then a little nutritional yeast, which helps give them kind of this cheesy flavor. Now I'm gonna put the lid on and then I'm gonna shake them up. Okay, so I have put all the potatoes on the air frying sheet here. So I'm gonna put them in the air fryer at 425 for about 20 to 30 minutes, and you would just do the same in the oven. All right guys, so for dessert during weight loss, you want to keep it really simple. I always kept it to frozen fruit or fresh fruit. One of my favorites is having berries with some cocoa nibs on them, just a little bit. It gives it that nice chocolate crunch. You can also take some dairy-free chocolate chips and, you know, kind of chop those up and throw them on. And that's a really nice little dessert after dinner. I always like to have a little something while I'm sitting down watching Netflix at night. All right, guys, that is it for me today. I hope you guys give these recipes a try and really enjoy them. Again, I will link everything for you guys in the description box below. Remember to keep this journey about health and not just about the skinny. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.